Hello folks, it's Owen here, and today we're going to be doing the unboxing and review of my Space Marine Adventures Labyrinth of the Necrons tabletop RPG game set that I bought months ago, mainly for the reason this comes with 5 miniatures that you can actually build and paint. It's also the other reason why I kind of held off doing this review is because I still don't have the materials to paint these guys yet, but I decided, you know what, let's do the review, and eventually I will come to the building of these guys one day. And I'll do the review. Like for right here, you can see right here, the miniatures right here that it comes with. This one right here is the salamanders. And these right here, like all miniatures, at least that I just want to assume, no glue required. These guys are just push-to-push connected, which is always great. This is basically same thing with Gunpla when it comes to like piece parts together, just plastic on plastic, no glue required, which is always great. And what I love about my miniatures. And there's the finished product right there, how it should be finished. Overall, this right here is a 1 to 4 player co-op game set. You can play with your friends or you play by yourself. Usually around 30 minutes to 45 minutes gameplay completion, depending on how you are. Basically, the little synopsis of this is basically your squad of 5 Space Marines set out to go destroy a dungeon labyrinth of the Necrons and to defeat an overlord of the Necrons and to hope to finish the battle and to win. That is basically the little synopsis of this. Overall, pretty great synopsis. And if I remember months ago when I bought this for 20 bucks. And for those who buy miniatures and miniatures for Warhammer stuff, you should know by now, getting 1 or 2 miniatures usually will cost you between 10 and 20 bucks for a single or a couple miniatures. So getting 5 of these guys for around 20 bucks is actually not bad, especially in the playset. But with that out of the way, let's get in with the unboxing of the playset. And we're back, and let's start off. First things first, we gotta take off the little plastic that this box comes with, because this is basically never been opened, so the plastic's gonna be on here, so slowly and steady. And I did find my X-Acto knife, folks. And you're probably gonna be wondering, where did I leave my X-Acto knife? Well, it was in one of my Gunpla boxes. Apparently, when I was organizing, there we go, plastic's gone. Now we got the box set right here pretty open. And no longer going to be needing the X-Acto knife because the X-Acto knife has served its purpose. Now time to open the box, which is going to be pretty nice because I don't think I've opened another tabletop RPG game set since the D&D one, which those don't come with miniatures, but hey, they're pretty good. So slowly open the box. You can see right there, ooh, pictures of the Necrons. Overall, regular white box, you can see right there, which is actually pretty nice. We'll leave this on the side. First things first, what this comes with, ooh, a welcome set. Ooh, I kind of like that right there. Welcome to the world of fantasy games. Basically, a little bit of description of everything from 40K, talking about all the people who inspired it. Overall, pretty nice. Actually, that's looking pretty good. Let's see what we get. Introduction to the Warhammer universe. There's all the Marines and all that. Talk about a little bit the intro of everything. I already know a little bit. I've been watching a lot of Lord videos. These are all the different box set and tabletop RPGs you can use, which later down the line, I'm going to try, when I have more money, I'm going to actually try to get myself some of these. Because I feel like these box sets right here, if you're starting out and don't know where to get, you can probably get a good amount of armor building out of here, or at least of some different ones. Overall pretty nice, and you also have different types too, because you also have Metal Earth too. We have Lord of the Rings one as well. We got some more Necromania of different, and not just 40K, we also have other ones too. It's actually not bad at all. So looks pretty nice, looks pretty good. I will say these are probably going to be my future buys later down the line, and also books too. I do know my friends do have a lot of these books, so what's called, I may try to borrow some of them. And first things first, ooh, we have the manual. We have the Adventures Guide manual, basically telling you everything you need to know. Overall, looking pretty great. Rules of reference is basically the rule book for everything, referencing for all the Space Marines, how they attack, how everything should good, if your Marine is wounded. We have the components, everything you have right here. You have the Marines, we have dice, we have a little bag, we have the play mats, the walls, everything. We have the counters, cards, everything looking pretty nice. I'm going through all this so people can see everything, how you set up the game. Everything looking good. Space Marines. Overall, not bad. I haven't done a full D&D game in like a long time. I do know my buddy Evan at Stupidly Awesome Gaming. He's been wanting to. Well, we're kind of doing a Star Wars Old Republic D&D RPG playthrough, which we barely made our characters. He's still working on the world. We're starting off at Tatooine, and we basically that's kind of where we kind of set off. Like, we made our characters as good. Yeah, I am for those who want to know what my character is a Mandalorian. Old school Mandalorian. Oh, but let me tell you, having to go through the rule books for Star Wars D&D, it's like, oof. Like, you saw regular D&D creating was difficult. Having to do actually IP character creation is like a whole lot. But we got our characters done, which is good, yeah. Though we did happen to help another friend because his D&D sheet, his character sheet kept getting ruined because of the computer settings, which was kind of sad, but we eventually got it fixed. So we have all the play sets, everything goes through. Overall pretty nice, letting everybody go through. Labyrinth, just letting everybody read through all this so they can see, where you can pause in case you also have your own game and you want to know a little bit more of this, so it can be a little bit more helpful and all that. Overall, rulebook's actually pretty nice. And then we have the Space Marines, which now we actually get to see, which everybody's, oh, he's a Space Wolf. That's why I was getting confused with that. All that. Now we get an introduction of the brothers of all the Space Marines. We got Sergeant Cassius of the Ultramarines, carrying a rolling chainsword. Yeah, we have Brother Infernus of the Salamanders holding his flamer. Then we have Brother Frostclaw of the Space Wolves, brave and ferocious in equal measure. Then we have Brother Gabriel of the Noble Blood Angels, who seeks for his enemies in this auspice. Then we have Brother Grimm of the Stubborn Imperial Fist, who wields a very powerful heavy bolter. One of my favorite weaponry if anybody plays Space Marine 2. And then, if you want to continue the adventures, you also got the rest of the books, like First Strike, you can see right there, where you get a way more miniatures in box set, which I actually kind of want to get these. The more and more I read this, the more and more these are going to be my future buys. Oh, and right here, this is the assembly guide right here, where I'm going to be assembling the Space Marines. I probably will do a video or stream, we'll see how that goes. I'll be building the guys. Like, I'll probably do one stream or video building them and then another one of, painting them. So that's how you put everybody together. Basically, if you're starting this out, it's actually a pretty good guide, especially for miniatures. For someone who's like me, who's built Gunpla and Lego miniatures and whatnot, and other miniatures, this is still relatively new, but it's actually a good new experience for me coming into this. So each one for everybody else has their own different kinds of. So we have the Salamanders version. Then we have Ultramarines, how to build him. Space Wolves. Then we have the Blood Angels. And then we have the Imperial Fist, who has a little bit more because he has the backpack and the heavy flamer. Heavy bolter. Overall, it's not bad at all. And then we have the reference guide back here for everything else that you need. Overall, not bad. Now we got the little box sets right here, which I think these are the little tokens that are going to be the enemies. As I said right here, doesn't have miniatures for the enemies, so these things right here are basically going to be the enemies you're going to be using, which is kind of basically the same thing for mostly if you played tabletop RPG games with friends and family. You always know this creature's always going to be, your enemy's always going to be a little distinct, since most of the time it's production costs, which is fine and all that, but overall it's not bad at all. Don't want to break that. We want to keep everything in whole because they want to pop out. Overall, it's not bad at all. You have the Overlord right here. You have all the Necrons. Overall, pretty great. Just trying not to break that because, that's going to be terrible. And then we have the Maze. This is one of the first sets of Maze, which is pretty good. One thing I love about table set RPGs, which I know for people who play D&D or DMs who make D&D, having the ability to have basically a mat where you can forge the world and all that is always great. That way you don't have to worry about having to make tiles, make a whole world, like a tavern and whatnot. Though nowadays was printing and then 3D printing a lot of the stuff. It's kind of a little bit easier, though that is if you have a 3D printer. Though you can also print regular paper on the maps and whatnot with no problem at all, which my friend does. He does want to get a 3D printer one day, and so do I too, but I need the space for a 3D printer. And this is the last of the mats, of the worlds, of the labyrinth. Overall, pretty nice. And now we have the cards. These right here are the cards for all the characters, which are still sealed. Not gonna open these until later down the line. Because I might do a game. I might do a whole video as a game with my family trying to play through this, or by myself. Not that hard. Overall, these are the levels like we read. These are the levels for each of the passageways. So pretty not bad at all. Then we have the little baggie here, which is going to hold all the stuff, which is actually not bad. Pretty good baggie. Really solid. I do love these because I do have dice for my D&D sessions. And look, different colored dice for each of the Marines. So each dice right here, color-wise, is for each of the Marines that we see right now. You have the baggie to hold that. And then we have a deck, which holds all the Space Marine decks. Overall, pretty nice artwork right there. Like I said, I'm not going to open these until later down the line. And then we have the runners. First off, we have the Imperial Fist. And my god, first time actually holding a runner that's not Gunpla. And overall, it's pretty great. Looking pretty good, and yeah. This is actually pretty nice. The detail work for this is actually pretty nice. You can see right there. Oh, looking good. Definitely, I will say I will probably do either video or try to stream on YouTube. Building these guys, probably not going to be that difficult. Painting these guys, on the other hand, will probably be a whole different thing since what's it called? I don't have the paints for these at all. I probably mentioned this before. I don't have the correct paint. I do have the paint to probably paint these to a degree. Don't have to correct. But also, I don't have the brushes. I don't know if I mentioned this before. Here's my brush set right here. I can see right there. I don't have the correct brushes to paint these guys perfectly. I only have maybe one or two of these brushes right here, which are usually used for painting miniatures. I only have like one or two of those and not a lot of them. So what's it called? I don't have the correct paints or brushes to paint these correctly without having to worry. But in the future, I will try to get these. Here's salamanders right here. A little bit loose because the box has been a little bit, you can see sometimes some of these are broken. This happens a lot for a lot of these runners. Someone who's building Gunpla, I do know this a lot because I've had boxes where basically a lot of the runners are either broken off or the pieces are off the runners, and it's the good thing they're in plastic because sometimes, lost the production, you're never gonna find those pieces again, even if they were in folds and whatnot. So just gotta be careful with these. Overall, it's always great to see other runners from other franchises or series that are not just the ones you're kind of used to. This one right here is the Blood Ravens. Overall, pretty nice. I'm actually liking that. I like the fact that they're very small and tiny. These are miniatures, so that's what they're meant to be. But for someone who's built Gunpla, I think the smallest model kit I've ever built was the Mecha Made one, which I think was a 1/12 kit. That was probably the smallest I ever got to, like, model kits. Unless we go with the Gunpla artifact ones, those technically would count as miniatures too. Which I don't know if I do have those. Don't have them with me at the moment, but that is it. And that's pretty much it with the box. Overall, it's not bad at all. Everything's pretty great. You got your miniatures right here where you can start out with. And this is what I meant by what's it called when you want to start your little armies. You have a kill squad, as what do you call them, or a hit squad to start out with, which is not bad at all. Overall, the box set is pretty great. You have everything you need to start the quest, which is no problem at all. And then afterwards, if you want to start building your own armies, you have 5 Space Marines, each of different legions you can start out with, which is not bad at all. But with that out of the way, folks, that is it for the review for the Space Marines Adventures, Labyrinth of the Necrons. If you like the video, consider dropping like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always do appreciate it. And if I don't do any other videos, this is Power signing out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Happy New Year, folks.